Having AI-powered customer insights is like having a high-performance sports car. It can take you places you've never been before, but it can also crash spectacularly if you don't know how to handle the power responsibly. Today, we'll explore how to interpret AI insights without getting overwhelmed by the data or making decisions that harm your customers or your business. The first challenge is understanding what AI insights actually mean. AI is like a brilliant pattern recognition detective that can spot correlations but can't always explain why those patterns exist. When AI tells you that customers who buy product A are 60% more likely to churn, it's identifying a pattern but not necessarily explaining the underlying cause. Here's a hypothetical example that illustrates this. Imagine a hotel chain's AI notices that customers who use mobile check-in have higher satisfaction scores. The tempting reaction is to push all customers towards mobile check-in. But human analysis reveals that mobile check-in users are typically tech-savvy business travelers who are already predisposed to rate the hotel positively. The correlation isn't causal. It's confounded by those who choose mobile check-in in the first place. This is where human interpretation becomes crucial. You need domain expertise to understand the business context behind AI patterns. You need customer empathy to understand the human motivations that drive behaviors. And you need critical thinking to question whether correlation represents causation. Bias in AI systems is like a funhouse mirror. It can distort reality in ways that aren't immediately obvious. AI models learn from historical data, which may contain biases from past decisions or systemic inequalities. If your historical data reflects biased practices, your AI will perpetuate and potentially amplify those biases. A pattern like "this group has higher approval rates" may reflect past discrimination rather than anything about the customers themselves, and acting on it without understanding the underlying causes can perpetuate unfair practices. Amazon faced this challenge with an experimental AI recruiting tool. Because the system was trained on decades of resumes from a male-dominated applicant pool, it learned to downgrade resumes that signaled that the candidate was a woman. Amazon's engineers tried to correct the bias, but they couldn't guarantee the system wouldn't find new, subtler ways to discriminate, so they scrapped the tool entirely. The lesson is important. Sometimes the responsible decision isn't to fix the algorithm, it's to stop using it. Context matters enormously in interpreting AI insights. The same behavioral pattern can mean completely different things in different situations. A customer who hasn't purchased in 6 months might be churning, or they might be perfectly satisfied with their last purchase and not ready to buy again. A drop in usage might signal dissatisfaction or simply a change in the season, someone's routine, or their life circumstances. AI flags the pattern. Humans have to supply the context. Statistical significance versus practical significance is another critical area of consideration. AI might identify statistically significant patterns that aren't practically meaningful for your business. A 0.2% improvement in email open rates might be statistically significant across millions of emails, but not worth the cost of implementation. The most sophisticated organizations focus on insights that are both statistically significant and practically meaningful. Metrics that connect to retention, satisfaction, and long-term value, not just engagement for its own sake. Transparency becomes crucial for responsible decision-making. Stakeholders need to understand how AI insights are generated, what limitations exist, and what assumptions underlie the recommendations. This isn't about explaining complex algorithms. It's about providing the context needed for informed decision-making. When an AI system makes a recommendation, decision makers should be able to see the key factors driving it so they understand the why behind the what. Finally, ethical frameworks help guide decision making when AI insights involve sensitive information or potentially harmful actions. Before acting on an insight, ask yourself, does this insight benefit customers as well as our business? Could acting on it harm vulnerable populations? Who could be harmed by this decision, and how can we mitigate potential negative impacts? Are we being transparent about how we're using customer data? Responsible interpretation of AI insights requires combining analytical rigor with human judgment, ethical considerations, and business context. The goal isn't to achieve perfect accuracy. It's to make better decisions that benefit both your business and your customers. Remember, AI insights are like ingredients in a recipe. They're valuable, but they need skilled interpretation and careful preparation to create something truly beneficial. The most successful organizations combine AI capabilities with strong ethical frameworks and human wisdom.